come back on Wednesdays. And if, you know, I'll answer the other part of it, which is, can you trust the politicians? No. That's it. That's true everywhere. That's true in Turkey, that's true in America, that's true everywhere.
Hi, thank you. First of all, thank you for your speech. And I would like to ask about the immigration concern of the United States. Do you think that if, I mean, what do you think about the immigration policy of Obama? I mean, do you think if he elects, the immigration issue will be resolved in the United States? So, because there are, I don't know, how many millions of illegal immigrants. So what do you think about it?
Bush once gave a press conference where he talked about his magic wand. And he said, you know, there's no magic wand. I can't say fix economy, right? He's a goofball, but he's right, there is no magic wand. So it's not like Obama's going to come in and be like, okay, I fixed immigration. It's a very complicated issue. My take on it is, we have these 12 million folks here, you're never going to send them all back. It'd be an absolute nightmare, impossible, draconian to send them all back, right? Yeah. So whether we like it or not, they're here to stay. And I don't like it, because I have a lot of friends who did it the legal way. And I have an ex-girlfriend who's been doing it the legal way for 10 years. And it's taken a huge chunk of her life. And she has to keep working for the same company that she can't leave because she needs the visa, right? So I don't like that. But we have to face reality. And Obama's position basically is a reality-based position, which is we're going to have to find a way to assimilate these people into the country, and we have to then set sensible goals for how we stop this. And we stop it by addressing the employers, so that the employers don't keep hiring illegal immigrants, which is the main reason for it. If they stop hiring illegal immigrants, then people will stop coming, right? Because then there isn't the jobs. And we also have to address, you know, what happens if people break the law. And look, I'm tougher than Obama is on. I would say one strike and you're out. Like after we fix it and we say, all right, now these people are assimilated and they have a path to citizenship, then if you break the law after that and you cross the border, I'd say, no, that's it, you'll never become an American citizen. He doesn't go quite that far, right? But the path to citizenship is fair too. Just think about that for a second. It's something along the lines of, and it'll get negotiated. Obama's plan won't automatically be accepted. Republicans and Democrats in Congress will negotiate over this. But it's in the ballpark of working about 12 years in America before you get your citizenship. Now you put in those 12 hard years picking tomatoes or whatever you're doing, washing dishes, you earned it. Congratulations, you're in America. You know, so I think it's a very sensible policy on immigration.
What are your thoughts on the vice president, Biden?
Well, you know, Biden has a good side and a bad side. He's a blowhard. He talks too much. And I say that as a talk show. So, I talk 3.5 hours a day, and Biden will out-talk. Okay? And when he does, he says some silly things, and he's not always right. He was wrong on the Iraq war completely. You know, he agreed to go into Iraq, and he pushed for it. But he tries hard, and he's a smart guy, and his expertise is in foreign policy. And no one has cared to fix Iraq after we originally broke it more than Joe Biden has. And I agree with him. He said, look, separate them into 3 areas. Doesn't mean that they become 3 different countries, but give them an incentive to fight for their own areas, which is the plan we eventually wound up adopting. Okay, say to the Sunnis in, you know, in Tikrit, this is your home, you fight for it, okay, and we'll help you. And to the Shiites in Basra and to the Kurds in, you know, in Mosul, and he was right about that. So he's a very thoughtful guy, he's smart, he works hard at it, he has a lot of experience. He's not right about all the issues, no question about it, but no one is. The thing is, you know, I didn't vote for Biden in the primaries, right? I voted for Obama in the primaries. So I think Biden is a good contrast to Obama. He'll give him advice that is, you know, from his perspective and a lot of experience, that's good. But when you compare vice presidential picks between Biden and Haley, it's a no contest. No contest. I mean, She doesn't know a thing. The other day, she said the press was infringing on her First Amendment rights when they criticized her. The whole point of the First Amendment is for the press to criticize politicians. That's the whole point. It says freedom of the press, freedom of speech. She doesn't even know what the hell the First Amendment is. I mean, and then they asked her, what does the vice president do? She said, oh, he's in charge of the Senate. No, it's not. Vice president's not in charge of the Senate, not even close. So, I mean, it's night and day. I take Biden 100 times before I take Sarah. And nobody's perfect. And look, the other thing is, they're all politicians. Don't get me wrong, don't trust any of them. Okay? You know, they'll promise you the world, and they'll do just as much as they think they have to get reelected. And so if they get, even if Obama, who's a politician that I like as much as I've ever liked a politician in my lifetime, right? Doesn't mean that he's going to do everything he promised, doesn't mean he's going to do everything you think is right. You have to keep pressuring him. And that's why if you're on his side, it's easier to pressure him. If you're on the opposite side, he has nothing to lose, okay? But if you're on his side and you say, hey, listen, you know, I really need you to, you know, press for this kind of reform, he's more likely to listen to you. And if you don't, only the other side will pressure, whichever side, you know, on any given issue. And that's not how you want to do it. You want to always apply pressure to politicians. We had a caller on the show once, and he was Indian from Connecticut, and he was talking about Joe Lieberman in 2006. He said he had a heavy Indian accent. He said, in my country, he said, we take them out and we beat them with a stick. They will do. Okay. Now, you don't beat them with a stick here, okay? But you do have to keep pressuring and pressuring and pressuring to make sure they do the right